you're at the top of the order now. So what's your
Yeah.
plan?
I am going to cast Envenom
On your blade. Okay.
on my
Mhm. All right. So I should, at the end of each one's action, I should have said what it was going to do, and I kind of implied it. The one that was, that struck first, was definitely, it was striking and was gathering itself for a rush. It will now move forward in a human fashion with its arms lifted to strike. The other one, having missed its strike, is now giving way to the other in order to kind of circle around behind you as best as it can. So instead of like charging like the other one's doing, it's kind of scuttling.
Cool.
So I'm just letting you know where they're at and what they're doing, as now you're going to cast your spell. So you're casting Envenom on your blade, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So
Correct.
It's 1 black point and you spend a brawn.
Yep.
Got it. So
Back that zeroed out.
Right. That pops you to the top, or back to the back of the order.
And here's where I think I'm going to spend the brawn to go back to.
Okay. There you go. You do.
Try to use the. I think I have some advantage given the.
Oh, totally. No, you have totally kind of commanded the physicality of the space. They have sort of botched their ambush, basically. And you're on dry ground. I mean, given all that stuff, you haven't stepped into the bog. You haven't been disoriented. Nothing has happened, right, to kind of throw you. And I agree that your character now is very well situated for the strike. And you're using the sword, is that correct? Or what?
Is there any special benefit to the chain mace mechanically? Or
I will explain what the benefits are for both weapons. Okay. To use the sword, you are allowed to add a point to either offense or defense, a whole new point.
Cool.
For the flail, you would ignore shields, and one of your combat options or things you could try to do as sort of a special effect with consequences is to tangle up your opponent.
Gotcha. Well, since I have the weapon in Venom, let's say that I opted for the sword.
Okay.
Since they don't have shields, and I don't really want to tangle them.
Also, flails are really, really good against human opponents because they're very disorienting and stuff. Using against a thing with multiple legs, it's kind of difficult to know what would happen, right? You're kind of like, So, all right.
Cool.
You're up against. Are you attacking the one that has just basically come straight at you out of the water, or are you looking around to try and get the other one in your sights? He's not like totally out of your field of view, but he's not where your attention was directed.
I think I need to lightning strike the one that's trying to flank me, or I'm going to get surrounded. So I'm going to go for that one.
Okay, so good enough. And so we're going to do our split again, and in this case, okay, I know how it's going to go. And my God, I roll a 4 on 2 dice.
I don't roll much better. So yeah, a total of 15.
You got a 15 and it got a 13 for defense. What's your defense?
So 11.
Okay. Well, this is actually pretty straightforward. Basically, you guys clawed each other a little bit. It's going to do 5 + 2, 5 points of damage to you, which I'm pretty sure your armor is going to protect you.
Yeah.
Right. So it's basically, as far as I'm concerned, as you go in with some sort of sword striking at it, that its various spider arms are going to be, slicing at you or clawing at you on the way in. But if you just keep your chin down, right, and your shoulder forward, then it'll probably be, keep yourself from being scratched up. And then second, you're going to be coming in and you get a 15 against its 13. Now, did you add your brawn to the armor, to the damage?
Oh, no, I didn't. That should have been an extra.
That's very important.
2.
Because then I think
okay, so then extra 2.
What's that?
Cool. Then I add an extra 2 to that, so that would have been 17 total, I suppose, or 4 damage, 4 after, 4 over their defense.
Right. um, sorry, my brain just shut out entirely. Start from the beginning. You had a 15 offense, a 13 defense. That's 2. What's your brawn?
At present 2, given everything I've spent.
Right.
Or
so
do I add my
4 points of damage, right?
Cool.
Now,
yeah.
its armor is 3.
Yeah.
So that means that 1 point will get through, even though the arms are like, blocking it, or at least are hard to get through that forest. You do manage to get the barest bit of flesh in that, probably at the base of one of the arms or something like that.
Cool.
Right?
And then for 3 extra damage.
For 3 extra damage, so it's going to take 4. Okay? So I'm going to split that. Between its brawn and its quickness. So it's going to drop to 1 brawn and 7 quickness. So you have managed to actually do, when the venom gets there, when you cast a spell, we didn't role play the spell casting at all, which we totally should. But when you cast that spell, right, you probably like dripped some sort of smoking oil onto your sword or something like that. Right.
Nice.
And so now, this gets into the wound, and it like there's this huge like horrifying blackening and sizzling where the blade actually cut into flesh. Right. And it's gonna react. It was a nick. It's not a nick. Now it's screams.
Yeah.
Right.
I forgot the sword bonus, so that should actually be +1 to the damage.
All right then. So in that case, the extra point goes to quickness. When you do an odd amount of damage, you cut it in half, and the extra point goes to quickness rather than brawn.
Gotcha.
So the brawn is dropped to 6. All right. Now, so by hitting it like that, you go to the back, but it goes to the back behind you.
Yeah.
Right. So you've definitely maintained your edge there. You did not take it down, but you did hurt it. And the magic had its, was very, very helpful to you. Because otherwise it would have just taken 1 nick off of quickness, and that would be it.
Gotcha.
So now it is the other one's turn to go, looking at my little dice and what's happened. And so now it's going to, the one from the water is finally going to, swarm at you. Now, having done this and having done the scream, what were you going to do at the end of your strike?
I was going to wheel around and try to...
right, at the end of your turn, you would say, okay, and then I wheel around. And that makes perfectly good sense, because you had a good visual on that one. You knew its movements. You knew what was going on. You turned to do this, but you're completely oriented. And having hurt that one, and having taken no damage, their ambush having gone horribly, you maintain the advantage.
Cool.
So I have to admit, their luck has been extremely poor. So you ready for the split?
Yeah, I have my commitment figured out.
And you do have the advantage die. So I am ready. And here it comes in on you.
Cool. Oof.
Okay.
Whoever has the advantage die apparently rolls bad.
Yeah, exactly. So he's coming to total offense hit on you, or total offense rating on you is 19.
All right. My total is 10, 18.
Okay.
And
so
with
only a brawn of 3, that's 4 points of damage to you. But again, your armor and shield are just totally rocking on this. You are basically just completely protected in that armor so far. They cannot seem to get in. These guys need a really savage hit.
Mm-hmm.
And given that they've got all the arms and they're in their preferred environment, you probably, in that first ambush, statistically, you would have been totally, taken down. You'd be on your back. You'd be half in the water, whatever. And they'd be on you with the red die the whole time, right?
Yeah.
But you were able to turn that around. So then the damage that you do, what was your offense?
9.
9, okay, right. So basically you still, but you know what I think? I think you basically fed at your shield.
Okay.
right? You basically just, ram the shield forward and were able to, keep it from, basically keep it off you
Cool.
completely. Footwork, anything? Well, wait, no, that's it's its turn. So, it goes to the back. You were not harmed, so you don't go to the back. And this one basically, seeing that that its companion is hurt, seeing that you're unhurt and that you're maintaining the advantage, is actually going to fade back into is moving as if to fade back into the water.
Okay. Cool.
So that's your situation. And that one looks like it's ready to kind of call it a day, or at least is up to no good in a more subtle way, whatever that may be. The one you've
Okay.
hurt is looking awful pissed, and has been biting at the joint that you poisoned, and is looking at you. It's got blood in its eye. It's like that's enough of that shit, right?
Hmm.
And so it's your turn though. What?
Okay. I think my intent was to wheel around and attack the one that was towards the water. Does that mean that I'm committed to having to do that, or can I change on my turn?
You're absolutely not committed to having to do that. You described your intention, and that made you prepared for what it was doing, but you are absolutely never. All you do is you say what it is your character has in mind to do, but when your turn comes up, you can switch up to whatever. It gives me the choreography. That's what it gives me. Right.
Cool. In that case, I'm going to try to drive my sword into the wounded spider hag and finish this off. So I'm outnumbered.
Excellent. So, it's definitely okay. Well, it's going to go for the. Oh, I know what it's going to do. Sorry, here I am talking and telling you, and I don't want to tell you, right? All right, I'm ready.
Do I maintain advantage?
You do.
Cool.
What's your offense?
19.
Okay. It basically completely. What it did was it basically drove its spider feet into the ground, grabbed branches with its human hands, and then as it's chinning itself and pulling up its legs, that's when the spider legs go up past it and grab onto a whole bunch of branches all at once.
Oof.
Right. So basically it just whatever sword strike you were doing that might have been very effective against a human, it pulls a very inhuman move and completely skedaddles out of your zone.
Vanishes, yeah.
Well, I don't know about vanishes, but it certainly vanishes from your momentary perception.
Yeah.
And you pop to the back of the order. It's its turn now, and I'm going to say that just because I'm a bastard, that it's going for the advantage at the moment.
Cool.
The other one seems to be in very much in kind of watch and wait and pounce mode. Attack of 23.
Oh, another 19 for me.
Okay, so 4 plus 1. It's going to do 5 points of damage, which I believe is still you're safe from.
Yeah.
So even though it drops on you and it is all like legs right now. I mean, you are like, whoa. I mean, it's got 4 extra limbs. It's totally pounced on you like it does. It's sinking its teeth into your shoulder, having barely missed. Remember, this armor is all pretty, it's not like hermetic plate armor. There's all kinds of places that it could actually get at you. And so it's like trying to pull back the coif of the chain hood. Right. And like sink its teeth into you. And it can't quite get. I mean, its teeth are like getting into the armor. Or maybe even the padding, the hauberk underneath. The teeth are getting bound up in there. Right. So it's basically going to try to wrestle you, presumably just to tie you up and keep you from getting advantage dice. Maybe hoping that its friend will come in and nail you next. Who knows?